Good evening, Star Pupils. I'm your host, friend, and life coach, Mrs.Divine Awakening. It's been a while since I've done that, so it feels good. But um, I'm here tonight to talk to you about how amazing my day was with this first little breakthrough of spring. It was really nice. It was a really nice day. And this is surprising to me to talk about how great my day was at the end of the day today because it didn't my day started off great. It really did. It did start off great, but then something happened early in the morning that had the potential back in the day before I know what I know now to really bring out the worst in me or a lower level version of me where something would have been allowed to take a hold of my emotions and take me for a joyride. There we go. So I had a long day yesterday because I had 3 parties to go to and one I had to host. And so then this morning I was going to sleep in till I was ready to get up and let my son sleep in, and then I was taking my niece to the mall for her birthday, to do something for her birthday. But it had to be done before 2 p.m. So I knew I had to get a pretty good start on the day because I also had to go to the grocery store. So what I'm trying to say is that by the time my day got started, I was well rested, even though I had a long day. So my day was starting off great, grand rising, like I always say, and it was a grand rising. And I got out the door on time. We had enough rest. We got out the door on time. We had breakfast and we had smoothies and we juiced. We did our thing. I meditated. We did our whole thing. I wasn't rushed and I got to the store, but I was out early. And before I could even get to the store, what I see on the corner, and now this is in the city that I live in. This is in my community that I'm a part of. I saw when I pulled out on the street, a pickup truck driving with 2 flags. One that was like black and red and whatever, just stuff that ain't regular melting pot American flag type of thing. And the other flag was a Trump flag. So that's fine. Everybody's free to express their own opinions and they're free to share their beliefs, their political views, whatever, express themselves. That's fine. I kept driving, and then I get to the corner, and there's a bunch of white people jumping out of pickup trucks and putting up, as fast as they can, these stands that had flags, Trump flags all over it. Trump, 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 Trump. And it's just a bunch of white people standing around holding flags. And y'all already know what that is, right? All right, so I told my husband today when I was telling him how great of a day my day was, I said, it's so great because if I could say anything was to go wrong or almost go wrong, it would have been me seeing them doing the whole Trump thing in the same spot where they did their rally at for the Klan men out here by where I live. And it's like when you hear about that, you're like, oh, hell no, they didn't. But oh, hell yes, they did. And then even with the stuff with the Trump thing, and we all know why. You can say all you want to, what's wrong with them putting up a flag with the president on there? We all know. Everybody knows what's wrong with that. It's not even that something that's wrong with that. It's that what is the point besides the point I'm about to make now? And that is to rile us up, to get us started. They didn't put that in Naperville where nobody would have cared. They would have walked past as if, yeah, whatever. They wouldn't have cared. But here, it was strategic why it was placed where it was placed at and the location it was placed at. And so what I told my husband was, as amazing as my day was, the only thing that could have possibly gone wrong, and I'm glad it didn't, was me seeing them try to hurry up and try to promote this whole Trump thing and have his flags and stuff and have all these other flags out there waving that aren't promoting America's respect of America's melting pot status. So I said, I'm glad that I am at the level of thinking that I'm at now, because, and I'm glad, so basically I said I was glad that I had my children with me, because if I didn't, I would have acted as a lower version of myself. And by that, I mean, I would have acted as I would have before I elevated to where I'm at now with children. I would have acted like somebody who had no responsibilities, no children, and was posing a certain type of consciousness, put it that way. So they would have saw a side of me that they didn't want to see, whether it was just me expressing what the rise they were trying to get, me giving them the rise that they were trying to get from people like me. And that's what I mean by that are people who are vocal and opinionated and are going to speak out, will speak out on something like that. And so I looked at it when it was happening and I was like, wow, it's unbelievable. You know, why right there? Why is it happening right there? And I just kept driving when I went to the mall, and I had a wonderful day. It still am perfectly. And so while I'm thinking about how, telling my husband how that could have been something that had went wrong had I not been thinking the way I'm thinking today at the level of consciousness and expanding to what I have become right now at this moment, and at that moment when it was, how my potential for a perfectly wonderful day could have went completely downhill and been disastrous. And so when you talk about duality or polarity, there's two ends to every coin, all right? I could have had a perfect day, a day that went perfectly for me, or I could have had one that went horribly, horribly wrong. And I saw today how it took one decision for me to, one decision and a level of consciousness that really helped boost that decision toward the way I would honestly have preferred it to go. And that was that my day was wonderful. If you ask me at the end of the day, do you want to turn up and let these people have it, or release the chaos that can come from within me if I feel like the outside is doing some stuff I don't want to see? Did I want to release that and have the day go horribly, horribly wrong? Or did I want to have my day go as perfect as can be? With the weather being the way it was. The weather was amazing today. So I went toward that wonderful day where when that happened, the first thought I had was, wow, that's unbelievable. And when I thought of that, I immediately thought about, well, that's my human thought. My human thought is that that's unbelievable. But knowing that everything is spiritual by nature, knowing that it's vibration, frequency, knowing that there's other things happening out here, other forces happening that we're not always in tune with or privy to. There's other things going on here in this world, energy-wise, spiritual-wise, that is always in play. What is another way to look at this that takes away that human thought? And I said, that was my choice right there, that this was strategic. They did that early in the morning. They had these people out here in this location, guaranteed. These people weren't coming in a community like ours without knowing that they were, that it was security, without knowing that they could probably have their conceal and carry on them, you know, their licenses and their weapons on them, and probably all the way down to where, and if something had to go down, it served the purpose. It was going to make some people today act horribly, horribly wrong, and that energy that they're trying to get from that, whether it's fear, whether it's depression, chaos, whatever, they were going to get that with whoever's day went horribly, horribly wrong from seeing what they were seeing in our community. or there's no losing with this, right? So if you choose not to participate, that's the only way that they can lose. But it can either go that way, where one person or a couple people are just pissed off and release that energy, or it can go terribly, terribly wrong, make the news, and now it's a mass emotion coming from all over, from anybody who has access to this kind of news, what's happening in our small town. It's not small, but our town, or Chicago. Let's say Chicago, because if you don't know where our town is, you're going to say Chicago. But this massive explosion that can happen from seeing something like that in a city that is how ours is. I love our city. Our city is diverse. Our city has a lot of some of everything. And the way people act at the store when we're all together and stuff is not the way that they were trying to make them seem like they acted on the store corner of a vacant store. And it's always over there where stuff like that is allowed to happen. And yes, we have freedom of all types of stuff, freedom of speech, freedom to go out there and protest. We have all these freedoms to sell things like that, freedom to even participate in our political parties like we have. We can choose sides. So not to say as if that was something that was wrong and shouldn't be allowed, but to say definitely if there was going to be a march of some sort, or us selling flags in that corner for Black Girl Magic or Black Bull Rock or something, or anything, even to have a freaking taco truck right there. You need all types of permits and things like that to do such a thing. You'll be dispersed immediately, quite quickly, if you didn't have the right paperwork. But for this to have happened and just, it's A-okay, no one's asking for any documents or anything like that, I feel like that was put there for a reason, to play with our emotions, and we need to focus on whatever we're focusing on. If you want to focus on Oprah falling today, focus on that, rather what you're seeing around when they're trying to promote the hate and racism toward each other and get these emotions out of us. Focus on what's going to make you have your version of the most perfect day. So if that means laughing at Oprah all day, that means laughing at Oprah all day. If that means I'm just going to focus on what I said I was, which is going to the mall for my niece's birthday. Hey, we going to the mall today, and I went grocery shopping like I was supposed to. And I went to go visit my sister, like I said I was going to yesterday, but I was too tired to do it yesterday. Like, do the stuff you want to do. Focus on what you want to focus on. Choose to not participate when you see things that have no intention but to rile you up. Things that are trying to take control over you, because that's what these emotions do. They jump inside of us and they have their joyride until we realize we are in full control of how we feel, what we think, what we say, what we do. So again, I'm very grateful to the universe, to my universe that's connected to my higher self for today, because I was able to choose subconsciously to pursue on what I said I was going to do. I was able to focus despite the things that were set up around me to make me not focus on what I was trying to do. When I did what I was trying to do, I stayed focused. I had a great day. So I suggest to everyone out there to really be aware of the things that are happening around you, and remember that it's up to you how you choose to engage with it. It's up to you how you choose to engage with it. To not participate in it is in something that has potential to rally you up, that has potential to give you any feeling you don't want to have. To choose to not participate in it keeps you in control. Now, not to say that you're running away from any kind of feeling that you don't want to have, but to realize that you can actually release it when you're ready to release it by letting it go if you're already in it. But if you're not already in it, to simply say, how is this going to serve me? And then take away that human thought of it and thinking about it energy-wise, and understanding if it's the wavelength you want to ride or not. If not, go toward where you're trying to focus, redirect your focus to where you're trying to go to. But you can always be in control of what's going on with you and how you think and feel, and be happy with the decision that you make on the choice that you make and how you want to control it. So was I happy I didn't turn up on that issue? Yes. I have plenty of friends and family members who would say, girl, I would have did this. I would have went back and I would have did. And I was like, I would have too a couple years ago. But now, nope. And I'm glad I didn't, because I had a great day. I did not have a drama-filled day. I had a fantastic day. And that beats the drama any day for me. All right, star peoples, you guys have a great night. Peace out.